and welcome to the sixth part of our analysis module, in which we are going to discuss using comparative analysis in our argumentation. If you hadn't yet, we strongly recommend you watch the first 5 videos before watching this one. We are going to largely build on skills we've discussed before when talking on being comparative. So, what does comparative analysis mean? It means we want to engage both sides of the motion in our analysis. Rather than only giving reasons on why our side is good or why the other side is bad, comparative analysis explains why our side is better. Debate, being a comparative game, is usually won on comparative arguments and none on absolutes. If you ever found your arguments falling to rebuttals deeming them symmetric or asking, but what's the delta? It is very likely your analysis is lacking in comparative. To be clear and to not conflate, comparative analysis isn't preemptive rebuttals to things you think are going to come up from the other side, but rather for your own constructed case, comparative analysis helps you engage both sides of the debate to show what changes rather than just what's good or bad. What is the delta of your case as opposed to just what the impact of your case is. How do we do that? There are a few key steps we suggest in order to make your analysis more comparative. Firstly, in your notes, use a chart. Give 3 columns to your chart. One is for the status quo. Another one is for the counterfactual. The third is parameters for comparison. Usually, these will be your burdens of proof. So we are going to compare the status quo and the counterfactual per each burden in our chart. Then, inside the chart, fill it in using the mechanisms you have generated that we have learned how to do in video number 3. And for each mechanism, show how it operates on both sides of the motion, our side and their side. If you find all your mechanisms seem to fit in one column, try and actively add the flip side to the other column. If you can't find the flip side mechanism, or the mechanism seems to operate the same on both sides, most likely it's symmetric, and you can let it go. To be extra thorough, try and also think how you would analyze the argument from the opposing side, what mechanisms you would give, and use them and the responses to them also in the chart, so that preemptively your argument already addresses the attempts to flip it. How do we practice it? We do the above-mentioned process for motions and arguments in our free time. We suggest setting measurable targets in order to track your progress and gradually increase the difficulty with harder goals. The main parameter you can use to increase the difficulty for this practice is time control. We suggest starting with unlimited time and gradually reduce the time you let yourself prepare your argument. Another potential parameter you can use is the number of metrics for comparison you're using, although you won't always need very many of them. So it's good to practice to start by thinking of as many different comparison points on your chart, but at the end of the day, you would probably only need to use your burdens. As always, in the description, there will be a link to a script of this video, including an example where we take an argument that we have already thoroughly analyzed in previous videos and show how we would analyze it on a chart using our tools for comparative analysis. Thank you for listening, and see you in our next video when we discuss time management.